All right, good evening. So, welcome back to Pat's Card Corner. And it has been a couple weeks because I took a little time off for Christmas and just needed a little bit of a break. So, sorry, I had to fix my chair. So I'm glad you're joining me tonight, and I'm just trying to get myself going here. So if you are joining me for the first time, please say hi. Let me know that you're here. I'm trying to get my lighting right here. So I have a new light, and I'm not sure if it's helping or not helping. I'm going to try moving it around and see if maybe that'll be better. I'm trying to get rid of the shadows. Not sure if that's going to help though. Yeah. Whoops. Let's just turn it right off. So I got a new light for Christmas and everything's a bit wonky. Okay, so if you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new, just welcome. And I am Pat. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I'm happy to be back with you today. So I have a really fun card to share with you today. We are going to do a little bit of die cutting. We're going to do regular cutting. We're going to do scoring. We're going to do stamping. We're going to do a little bit of coloring, all kinds of stuff. So just to get started, we are going to be using one of the new stamp sets that's called Nuts and Bolts. And this is in the new January to June 2022. I know it sounds funny saying that, 2022. Mini catalog this will be available from January to June, obviously. But it is a little bit of a Valentine, I think, stamp set. So that's what we're going to be making today. Hey Kim, how are you? Glad you could join me. And we're also going to be using some of the new paper that is called Sweet Talk. And that is also, I forgot to write my dimensions, but they're so simple, it's going to be fine. This paper, we're going to use 4 sheets of it, 4 different pieces, but I'm going to show it to you real quick just because it really is very pretty. Obviously I've been using it because I have some partial sheets here. So lots of hearts and not all pink and red. So we have some purple, a little bit of green, a little bit of lighter pink. I think that's Pool Party maybe, Bermuda Bay. So obviously some with lots of hearts, some with a little bit of hearts. And these are the really fun things, you know, conversation hearts, like the candy that's hard to find now, or I think that they don't actually make it anymore. I'm not sure. But anyway, so lots of fun patterns, and I think I'm missing one. Oh, there it is. It's hiding. Because I want to show you the flip side of this too. So lots of fun heart patterns on one side, and on the other side, I'm going to flip it over. We have one more that's got some more hearts on it, and then some just fun patterns, some stripes, and I'm not sure what that is, some like marbly looking paper, some different color stripes, some like speckled dots, and all different color. If I turn it right side up, this is I Love You in several different languages. I know there's Spanish, French, I think German, English, and I'm not sure if there's another language in there that I just don't recognize, but there might be. So anyway, but fun paper and very pretty paper, and it's going to make really nice, I almost said Halloween, Valentine cards. So, hey Laura, glad you could join me tonight. So we're going to be using that paper and this stamp set, and let me go over what you need for supplies real quick, and that's just a scrap piece. So you are going to need an entire sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So we are going to be scoring and cutting this, so but we are going to use pretty much the entire sheet. And then you're also going to be needing, in fact I should probably write that down in case you want to, somebody's joining in late and they're like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. So this is 8.5 by 11. There we go. You will need 4 sheets, 4 different patterns. If you're not making Valentines, obviously you can make any kind of cards you want, but you will need 4 different patterns, and these are 5 1/4 by 4. And if you've watched any of my videos before, you know when I tell you 5 1/4, that means that your pattern's going to go this way, and then the 4 is down. So like this stripe piece is going to be going this way. I wanted my stripes up and down, so I made sure the 5 1/4 side is across and the 4 is down. And then these are the other patterns that I picked. So you will need 4 different pieces and all the same size. Okay, so then I also, you'll need a couple pieces of scraps that we're going to just do some stamping on. One's for the sentiment, and the other is just to, we are going to stamp one of the images on here and cut them out. The other ones we're just going to stamp. And then I actually did 3 die cut pieces, and we are going to do some other die cutting. These are from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. They look like this, and I used the largest one, which is that one, the next to largest, which is that one, and then the next to largest, which is that one. If you don't have this set of dies, you can use the Stitch Rectangle dies, you can use the Scallop Contour dies. You can just cut some rectangles just out of cardstock if you don't have any dies at all. But there's a reason we're using dies, and that's because we're cutting a hole in the front of our card, and so it kind of takes away from the card if you don't have a hole in it. So, but you could use a little. Oh yes, I know, I love these dies. These are some of my favorite ones, and that's why I picked them for this card. So I'm glad you have them. So, and you can use them for just about anything, and that's kind of why I like them. So those are the 3 pieces. I do in the post, and I don't have it in my head right now of what size all of these are. I did put it in the post earlier today, so you can go back and look at that. I will post the sizes of these later if you're cutting your own. So I'm going to set these aside because we are going to use these in a little bit. I'm going to take this off of here. We're going to put those aside because we are going to use those, and I'm going to move these out of the way because we're going to take this piece here and we're going to do some cutting and scoring. And just for today, I don't usually show you the card that we're going to make beforehand, but I'm going to today. So you can kind of get an idea of where we're going when we're going to be scoring. So this is the card that we're going to make, and you can see there's a hole in it. And you open it up like this, but then you also open it down like this. So you can see that this piece, I'm going to move this out of the way, is 3/4 of this piece of paper right here. This other piece that we're going to cut off, we're going to die cut one of these little, actually it's going to come right out of this piece, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So anyway, it's easy, it's fun, and that's what we're making. So now that you've seen it, let's get started. So you will need your trimmer, scorer, and we're going to score it in 2 directions. We're going to score it in half this is the long side. So we have the long side. This is the 11-inch side. We're going to score it at 5 1/2. So you want to move your cutting blade out of the way, which is the dark one. And so you just have the light one, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2, the whole thing, and then we're going to turn it, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. And this is going to make 4 even pieces, or sides, whatever. So we're just going to score it in this direction. Okay, so now we've got it all scored, but we want to get rid of, I want to flip it over because we want to be able to fold our card the right way. So this is the wrong side. You can tell it's the wrong side because you'll see the little bumps. If you have a groove in it, that's the front side. If you have the little bumps, that's the back. So we want to have it on the back. And we're going to cut out this piece down here in the corner. So we want to get rid of this piece. So I'm actually going to turn it so that that piece is now in the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my little bump score line right on the cutting line right here. You can see it's all lined up, hopefully nice and straight. And we're going to cut, but only to the middle, only to right here. And that is, if I look at my ruler, that is the 5.5 inch mark. So I can't see that very well on my ruler when I'm looking at it, because number one, I'm sitting down, so that doesn't help. But so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick a little sticky note on my ruler here at the 5.5, so that I know that's where I want to stop cutting. So it's just going to help me to know where I am so that I don't cut too far. Except for it would be more helpful if I moved my cutting blade up to the top first and then did that. So let me go back, and I'm actually going to take this one out. So these just pop out, so I just took that one out so I didn't have it in the way. That way I can push that one all the way up so that I can still see that I have my line all lined up correctly. So there we go. Okay, now I'm going to stick this back on at the 5.5 mark. And I can see it on both sides, so I can see it here and here, so I know I'm in the right spot. So that's just going to help me to know that I'm getting close to where that is. Oops, that's going to be in the way now. Yeah, that's not going to work. I thought that would work, but evidently not. Maybe I need to just put it down farther. Well, there is a line on here, but I gotta stand up. That's my problem. There we go. Okay, so I cut it all the way down. And you can see that I cut it. And now I want to cut the other part. So I'm going to turn it this way because I'm cutting off this piece. And I'm going to line that up so that is lined up. My score line is lined up on both sides. And I'm only going to cut right to the middle. And I can see where that is now because I can see where that cut line is. And I'm just going to cut it. And you can kind of feel it when you get to the end that you're kind of right where you want it to be. And there we go. One piece missing. So now when we flip our card over, this is right. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. I had to think for a minute. Because this is the inside. Okay, so this piece is going to fold up like this, and I have my bone folder as soon as I get it out. It's stuck in my box here. And I'm just going to give it a good crease there, and then this one is going to fold this way, just like that. And I might have it a little crooked here. And I did my other one. Hello. Nice. Yeah, I just scored it crooked. That's my fault. I scored it a little crooked here. Alright. Then this one is going to go over this way. Why is it not going to go? Okay. What I'm going to do, it's getting stuck in the way, so I'm just going to trim it just a tad because it doesn't want to fold quite right. You could just cut it with a pair of scissors too, but I just trimming off. You can kind of see I'm trimming off a teeny tiny bit. You can tell it's tiny because it's kind of curling up on my scissors. Because when I was trying to fold it the other way, it was getting, there we go, it was getting stuck and wasn't wanting to fold straight down. So there we go. Okay, so there's our card. It's going to go this way and that way. And I need to trim that off because I cut it a little crooked. I don't normally use, I know this is going to sound funny, but I don't normally use my trimmer when I'm trimming, when I'm cutting stuff. So it's going to bother me that it's not even, so I'm making it even. So, because I didn't cut it even. There we go. I have a simply score that I do it on, so, and then I cut with my cutter. So there we go. Now I got it. Now I'm happy. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is get our pieces of our cardstock or designer series paper and decide where we want to put them. I want to put this one on the front. We aren't going to attach that one yet. And then we need one that's going to go here. So I think I'm going to put this one there. And then we're going to be opening it up. So I'm going to put this one here and this one there. So you can arrange yours any way you want. You could switch them around. You could put them this way. You could have the stripe one this this way. So when you open it that way, I kind of like this, kind of like it like that. So that's how I'm putting mine. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to attach our pieces of cardstock. So I know, I'm telling you, those, everybody likes those dies, I think. I like things that you can use for multiple things. And I have new glue, and it's came out in a big lump right there. So hopefully I won't get glue everywhere now that I have it on my hand. I am going to open this up only because it makes it easier for me. So you do want to make sure that you're doing your cardstock right side up. There we go. So that is right side up, and then these two pieces are going to go in the middle. I'm not sure if there is a right side, and since the pattern kind of goes every which way, I've got glue on my finger, so I'm going to stick it on the back here. And then we're going to glue this one in. Put my glue over here. Put this one here. And then this one is going to go down here. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this one. And the front piece, I'm not going to glue it down quite yet because I want to cut out the hole in it. But I am going to put it on there in a second. Okay. So here we have those. And then we put our other one on the other side. And now this one is actually the front of our card. And this one is going to go on the front like this. But we want to cut the hole. So you can see that there's a hole cut in it. And this piece right here is the piece of cardstock that we cut the hole out of. But you can see that there's no paper. This paper is not on the front of it. So if I glued this down and then cut it out, I would have this heart shaped piece on it too, but I don't want that. So what I'm going to do, and this is easy, is I have some where are they? Hello. Did I put them away? Nope. Nope. Where did I put them? I have some removable stickers, and as soon as I find them, you know, I thought I was really organized tonight because I had all my stuff together and I knew where everything was, and here they are on the other side of my desk. So these are just They're multi-purpose labels, but they are removable. Keyword removable. You could also use a sticky note too, but these are just kind of little circles, and they're small enough that they kind of hold everything in place. So I'm just going to put one on here to hold my paper down so that when I die cut it, it'll cut both pieces at the same time, and so I'll get a hole in the exact same spot. So I do need to open this. So to die cut this is easy. Whoops, now I just moved my thing. That was not good. Let's put that back on there. You're gonna need to touch it better there. Here we go. Because all you have to do is make sure you have your card folded up, so when you're die cutting, it'll cut through both pieces, and you don't have to worry about cutting through the rest of your card. So this die cut piece is the middle one. So these are the three that we're going to be using tonight, and the one for the front of your card is the middle size. So I'm actually going to turn it upside down on here, and I'm going to use my little removable stickers, and I'm going to put them on here too, because if this moves while you're cutting it like that, well then you've got a crooked window on the front of your card. So all right, so let me move this out of the way. I am going to get my die cutting machine here, and I'm going to put this here. So I am going to kind of center it on here and use my little stickers, or you can use a post-it note, anything that you can remove, because you don't want to rip your paper, because that would not be good either. And I'm just going to kind of put this in place down here. So I kind of do two of the sides. You can put them anywhere you want. It's not going to matter. They will come off, and that looks pretty even to me. So let me get my other plate, and hello, put it on there, and we're just going to run this right through. And I just back mine up because it gets kind of thick, because there's like 3 pieces of cardstock over here. So, and then we're going to take this off. I am going to move this out of the way, and peel off my stickers. Let's do it this way. There you go. Take my sticker off of there. Throw it in my trash. Sticker off of there. And obviously we are not going to need this piece, so I'm just going to put it aside. I can use that on another card. And this is the piece that we're going to use inside here. And now we are ready to carefully take this off. I don't want to rip my paper. There we go. Let me get it off of this side too. There's our hole. Then now we're going to glue this piece on. As soon as I get this off, we will. These are removable stickers. You just have to be careful when you're taking them off, so that obviously you don't want to rip your paper. So you can see that this fits perfectly on there, right in the window. And so now we're just going to glue that down. And you can see it fits right there. All right, so I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to turn it this way so I can easier to put on. And when you put it on, you're just going to make sure that you line up the hole in this piece of Designer Series paper with the hole that we've cut right there. So, and because we cut them at the same time, it will line up perfectly. And your cardstock will be straight. So you do want to make sure that you put a little bit of glue around the inside here and around the outside. And because we taped it down beforehand, we've still got it pretty even going around the sides too. So there is our piece. Now this piece is going to get glued onto the piece on the other side of this. It's going to get glued right here. So to do that, you're going to close it up, put some glue on the back, and you're just going to keep it closed, and then you're just going to carefully put it right into the hole. Give it a good little press there. And now when you open your card, there you go. Make sure we get it nice and dry. There, I got crumbs there. Ouch. It's right in the middle. So now we're going to do some stamping and stamp some of our pieces. So I had already pre-cut 3 of these white pieces. This is the piece that's going to go on here, on this piece. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping on there. And, or actually we're not going to stamp on there, we're going to attach some things to there. This is the one that's going to fold down. This bigger one is going to go right here. This is where we're going to be able to write, and then we're going to do a little bit of stamping on here. And this piece that we cut off right here, I'm going to use this piece to take the largest of the 3, which is this size, and I'm just going to die cut a piece out of here. So this piece right here will be the only scrap you'll have from the whole piece. So I'm just going to do this real quick. I'm not going to do this on camera just because I have to move everything. So just give me a second. And there we go. That's what's left. This is our other piece. It's gonna go right there. Okay, but now we have to do some stamping. So you do need a couple pieces of scrap paper. So I'm just gonna move this off to the side and put it over there. And that's my other, I'm gonna lose my frame things there. So this is the stamp set I'm using, and we're going to stamp this little guy right here on a piece of scrap paper. My scrap paper over here, stuck underneath my machine. We are going to stamp a sentiment that says "Greetings, kind human," although I have been reading that all day long as "Greetings, humankind." I'm not sure. Hey Meg, good to see you joining us. So I missed you 8 minutes ago, but I'm glad you're here. So this is what we're going to stamp. I'm going to stamp the sentiments. Greetings, kind human, not humankind, kind human. I showed that to my husband, and he said, oh yeah, because that's what a robot would say or an alien would say. So like, okay. So I'm going to stamp that in real red. So there's that. Here's my kind human card. I'm just going to stamp it right in the middle there. There we go. And it's okay because, yeah, I did this earlier today too. I am going to cut around that, so it doesn't matter if I have a little shadow. If I didn't want the shadow, obviously, I would be turning it over and cleaning my stamp and trying not to stamp crooked because you really don't. I had ink on the edge of my stamp, so we'll clean that off now so we don't get it somewhere else. But for this, it's okay because we're going to cut around the greeting, so it doesn't matter. And then also, we were going to stamp, not in red, that would be bad. We want to stamp this in Memento Black. This is the little robot with his arms outstretched I kind of, looks like maybe he's trying to give you a hug or something. That's kind of what it looks like. So I'm going to just stamp this up real good because I want a good image on here. This is the only one we're going to die cut. This stamp set does not have dies that go with it, but he's pretty easy to die cut, so that's not a problem. I am going to color him with Stampin' Blends, so I'm going to clean that off. I've had a bad habit lately of sticking my hands, my arm, anything on my stamp after I've stamped it, and then I get it all over myself. Okay, and then, where's my other piece? Where did I put it? It's not that piece. Oh, it's on my card. And then this is, we're going to get all our stamping done at one time. This is the medium size of the scallop things, and I'm going to stamp this little robot guy on there. And so this, he's kind of got a heart in his hand. So we're going to ink him up really good. And we're going to put him kind of on the side. Excuse me. I know, this is a cute set. You know, I wasn't real sure about it when I saw it in there, but it was like, I need Halloween stuff. So, Valentine's Day stuff, so. And then I'm going to stamp You Make My Heart Go Beep, since he's holding a little heart. I thought that was kind of appropriate. I'm going to stamp that in real red, right on the side right here. So like I said, we're going to get all of our stamping done all at one time. And then we're going to go back and kind of color stuff in. So you can kind of do this however you want. I did a little crooked. Yeah, I didn't really mean to do that. Guess what? We will, I'm going to, do I have another piece? Yep, I do. Obviously, I need to be more careful. Because I got a shadow on that because I wasn't paying attention. So we're just going to move that out of the way for a second. I'm going to re-stamp this. And probably what I'm going to do with that one is I'm just going to take the robot out of that one, color it, and then cut them out and put them on something else. I could do that on this card, but because this is going to go on the inside and it does get folded up quite a bit, it would make it a little bit bulky if I had an extra layer or if I popped something up on there. So I am going to clean this off and try not to do that again. All right, let's try this one more time. I think I figured this out is because this pad is very juicy, and if I do it too much, nope, I didn't get it anywhere. If I press down on it, I get that shadow. So this one I do not have that, so yay, I'm good. And then I have one more thing to stamp, and that is a little heart. Because I wanted to put a little heart in his hand. So this is actually one of the other stamp sets that they have for Valentine's Day. It's called Sweet Conversations. There is a little heart right here, and it kind of fits just perfect. So I am using this little heart from the stamp set. You can use any heart you want. You could also probably cut a heart from the paper. And these do have die cuts with them, but it was just as easy just to stamp it and cut it myself, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now I'm going to color these, and then we're going to do some cutting. So colors for these are really just basic. Robots are usually kind of metal, so I have smoky slate, and for the heart on here, I'm going to use real red. I didn't label these because these are newer ones. So, and this one, I don't know why, it has a really hard cap on it, which is fine because I know it's going to keep it from drying out, but hard to get off. So I am just going to color in this little heart on this little guy here. Isn't he cute? Just kind of makes you want to hug him, doesn't it? And we're just going to kind of color them all in. There you go. And then we're going to use Smoky Slate for the robots. And you can color these however you want. I think you could probably, you know, these would also kind of look cute if you did them in colors. You know, like maybe a really pretty blue would be nice. I don't know. So I am going to color some of him darker. And then I think he should probably be darker where he's put together. And maybe his little ears. And his feet, maybe we're going to make darker. And I'm just going to kind of color the rest of him lighter. Okay, so I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I had a good Christmas. My daughter was home, or one of my daughters was home. The other one decided to stay in Florida and not make the trip to Virginia. But my one daughter came home, but that was partly because we had been dog sitting her dog since July, because she moved from Seattle to Belize. So she's now living in Belize, and she couldn't take her dog right away. She wanted to make sure she liked it there before she did anything else. But she came home to get her dog. So now we don't have her dog. But we did have an exciting Christmas because we had a water leak from our upstairs bathroom into our downstairs family room. So that was always fun. So now we have to wait to get everything fixed. So it made for some exciting times. Fortunately, we caught it right away, so it didn't make too much of a mess, just in the ceiling. So it didn't really leak on the floor because we caught it right when it started dripping from the ceiling. So I hope your Christmas and stuff went better. Let's see. Let's make this a little darker. Not that to be darker. And we're going to make him stripes. It kind of looks like he's two different kinds of metal. Anybody besides me find coloring therapeutic? I could probably sit and color all day and be happy. Maybe it's just me. Okay, so I hope everybody has had a chance to look at or has seen the new catalog. If you haven't and you want one, just let me know. I'll be glad to mail one to you. And I think this little guy, we're going to color this red right here. Give him a little pom-pom. Yeah, that's his radar, so we're going to leave him alone. Okay, so this is fine to go just the way it is. These two, we're going to do a little cutting. This one, we're just going to cut the little robot guy out. So do it that way. Get a smaller piece here. There you go. So I'll try and do this kind of quick so you aren't hanging on here. Although I don't know, if you're stamping yourself, you might want to have time to cut also. He's not too bad to cut out because there's a lot of straight lines on him, or kind of close to straight lines, so he kind of goes pretty quick. Just don't cut off his legs. So kind of go around his little bumpies on the side here. And we don't want to cut off his little antenna on the top either. So we are going to kind of be a little bit careful there. Obviously you don't have to go in between all the little lines because, well, that would just kind of drive you crazy. So we're just kind of going around the outside. And it is easier if you kind of keep your scissors in one spot and you move your paper and not your scissors. There we go. I think I am going to cut this out though. And almost forgot this part right here. Probably should have done that when I had more to hold on to. And so we don't cut his foot off. That would not be good. And there we go. One little robot. And this one, I'm just going to cut right around the letters. Because I kind of don't really want this very big. I just kind of want it, because that space isn't real big where the front piece is, so we don't really need something that's very big. And if you just kind of cut around the letters, it works pretty well. There we go. Okay, throw that away. Throw that away. That's an extra piece. Oh, whoops. I threw my heart away. Hello. Let me find it where I just threw it away. Nope. All right. That I didn't want to throw away yet. I could die cut this. Whoop. But it's just as easy just to cut it out. Just to kind of go around it real quick. I almost knocked over my light there a second ago. In case you saw something weird, that was my light. And so to attach these, we will need some mini dimensionals, especially for the little robot guy. I found that the mini one works a little better than the bigger ones because you want to make sure you get it like the top of his head and other places like that. So these are the, and for that. So here's my little mini dimensionals, and we got to find my other pieces here. Where did I put my other piece? Oh, there it is, because I stuck it on there already. Okay, so this is our card, and I have one. This is the little piece that's going to go on here. So this little guy is going to go right here. He's going to hold on to his little heart, and then our little thing is going to kind of go up here. So, and it's all going to go onto this piece right here. So I am going to put some dimensionals on the back, and then we're going to just start attaching them. So, hello, where's my, all right, I'm missing, there it is. This is my handy dandy little tool. Sometimes these little things are kind of hard to pick off, so it's just kind of easier if you just kind of get them with your, this is actually came from, I have a Cricut, and this actually came from there. It's a little bit skinnier than the Take Your Pick tool that Stampin' Up has, so I find it's easier to use for me. It's easier to use. So I know I'm going to put a lot on here, because just call me crazy, but I am going to cut one of these in half because I want to stick it on his feet so they don't accidentally get, I'm going to put them this way. A half of one fits perfect on there. You put the flat side on the flat side of his shoe, or the back of his shoe, or his foot. And I am going to cut another one in half because to put on his arm, there's one arm that's hanging out, because I don't want it to get bent. So there we go. Lots of dimensionals on the back. So you can also use your pick tool to just kind of pick the backs off too, so you don't have to take them off yourself. Sometimes it can be hard to get off if you don't have long fingernails, which at the moment I don't. So, and it's easy and fast too. So there you go. So we're just going to kind of stick him on there. There we go. And we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of the heart so he can hold on to the heart. Put a couple on there. Okay, the light that I got for Christmas, it's an OT light, and I'll show it to you in just a second. But it's rechargeable, so I can plug it into a USB port and it'll charge itself up, so then I can move it anywhere in my craft room. I can have it on my desk, I can move it around the room. So I'm gonna turn it off and then show it to you. Whoops. I gotta stop touching the thing. So I don't know if you can see this or not. I just hit the light. All right, turn yourself off. There we go. So there, it looks like this. I'm not sure if you can see it. The handle, it'll go flat. It looks like that underneath. So, I don't know if you can kind of see that. I'm trying to look at my camera and it's like, oh, it's kind of showing. But it just, very small. The bottom's very small, so it doesn't take up a lot of space on my desk. But it works really well. My daughter found it. I think she bought it off Amazon. So, but I really like it because I can take it anywhere with me. So, which means if I go somewhere, like to a crafting event or someplace where, you know, I might not have like a light in front of me or something, I can take that with me and have it, and it just recharges with any USB port. So, easy to recharge too. So, I like it so far. I did put dimensionals on the back of my little cutout piece, my sentiment piece, so I'm going to put those on. And I'm just going to kind of put it about here. It's okay if it goes off the side because it's going to get put on there. So I am going to put a little bit of glue on the back, and then we're just going to attach it. I'm going to hold on to it because my dimensionals are hanging off the end there. So it's just going to go right there. Then my dimensionals will kind of hold on to. And so this is now the front of our card. Oops, might need to move that over just a tad because it's hanging off just a tad too much. And I'm just going to move this just a bit. We're going to do it this way. I'm going to mix this way. I make sure it doesn't go over. Just need to tweak it a little bit. There we go. And then the other pieces are going to go inside. So this piece is going to go here. And wherever I put my red piece, this is the red piece that we cut out earlier from the piece that's missing down here. So we're just going to glue that together. and put that on here. Got stuff popping up on my screen and it's hiding your comments, so I can't tell if you're commenting. Please stop. Okay. This is going to go there. And then we're just going to glue it right there. So kind of a lot of pieces, but it kind of goes together pretty quick, I hope. Or I think it does. Especially if you have all your pieces cut beforehand. So this is going to go right here. And it gets covered up by that. And then the other piece here is your last, the bigger white piece. Yep, that's the bigger one. It's going to go right there. I am going to stick this right here. It has two little hearts. I am going to stamp two little hearts on there real quick. And as soon as I find my stamp, there we go. And my ink. You can just stamp these in red, but then you just have a little outline, and I want to color them in, so I'm stamping them in black. I'm just going to put, darn it. Oh, we're going to cover that up. I'm not sure what I'm going to cover it up with, but I'm going to cover that up. Or I might just not glue it now, and I'm going to cut another piece, but I don't have another piece with me at the moment. I got to be more careful with my stamps. Anyway, this is going to go here. We're going to color this in just so you can see, but I'm probably going to stamp another piece once I'm off camera, or cut another piece and put it on there because I messed it up right there. But this is where you would write your message, sign your name, say Happy Valentine's Day, whatever else you want to say. It's going to go there. This folds up, this folds in, and your card's all done. There you go. So, yeah, I know, a cordless light is really kind of nice, so I'm liking it so far. So there's your card. Opens up this way. I'm gonna, whoops, got one of those stuck on there. This one, I haven't attached it, so, but it will be attached. And then it opens up that way. So just a fun little card. I gotta fix that though, because that would drive me crazy. I thought about I could put some kind of embellishment there, but because the card folds up, I don't want it to be lumpy or too, because it's already kind of thick because you have the 3 layers on it. So, okay, there you go. So I hope you like this. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the card, Meg. So it's really fun and easy to do, and you can do this with all kinds of different stamp sets too. Anything that you want to make a window with. So anyway, have fun. Give this a try. If you do, I'd love to see a picture of what you make. And I hope you have a great night. And I probably just need to do this to keep my card going down. I don't know why it wants to flip up. There we go. It just wants to stay up today. My other one's staying down, but this one wants to flop up. Okay, so I will see you next week on Therapy Thursday. And if you want to catch the directions or rewatch the video, I'm going to be posting it on my blog at www.jumpingintostamping.com. If you want to place an order with me this month, this is my host code for January. And I hope you have a great evening, and I'll see you next week.